This is a 1081 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. For sponsor come share more Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing you're there. Stim Kuf Yud Ches. Sif Chafav to Kuf Ches. Chafav. Because I was saying about Shulchan Aruch Sif Hey. Shulchan Aruch writes, "Imay Shalach Edikuti Yerach B'Luchosam." We send by a non-Jew a thigh without a seal. Im Hichasucha Der Sheisol Cholcha Achar Chtichas Sagid. If it's cut in a way which is characteristic of a Jew cutting it after he removes the Gid Anosha, it's kosher. So to any the piece in which you can tell that a Jew trabered it, he removed the forbidden fats or Gid, such as removing the vein of the vein in the hand, and the vein which is by the chest, etc. And other pieces of them, if there are other pieces with them, if you're concerned if they're switched, evidently you can rely on this. It's the deraisa. That's only by meat or another. It's the deraisa. But is the rabbanon convinas. They're saying this rabbanon such as cheeses. Where we should suspect we can suspect that the non-Jew switched them. If you recognize or that some, I guess not. You know what? No. Let me go back. I made a mistake. They're not good. Some word missing there. Other pieces, if you think there's a concern, they might have been switched. You can't rely on the fact that they're found together with a piece which definitely was not switched. Now, and he says, "I'm sure he's the rabbanon congrino sheish l'chus shemen chlipan kuti." He sent this to the rabbanon like cheese, where there's also issue potentially they were switched. If you recognize it's some and not switched, kulam mutar, it's all mutar. If the ones that he sent, which are authentic, are the best pieces. The vade im hichlifa because he was going to switch, he would have taken the best pieces. Before the head here, it's explicit. The Issa Doraisa Los Lachin Afilu Chai Gavna. When it's Issa Torah, we don't rely even in such a fashion. She is Bria Raya Purusho Hichliv, where we have definite proof. I mean, he didn't pick switch the better piece. Why should he switch the inferior piece? Become nevertheless also. We still ask because we're afraid. No, he really wanted to take the better ones. He didn't have time. When he felt it would be noticed, he was afraid. But the Rabbanon, we do rely on this. Below now, this even where the seal is broken, well, it's ruined or broken. The Rabbanon, we lie in this manner in the Rabbanon. Sending a thigh, that you should send it and just rely on the simon that the gid and rush has been removed. Ain't element the evidence only after the fact. It's not l'chatchila. L'chatchila asis makalzeh to do liberally rely on this is not permitted. Case the Achronim agreed to this. So too when you have a fowl and the sinews in the neck have been removed, like the Jewish girls do, have a simon diavad l'chatchila. It's a simon, but only diavad not l'chatchila. Because they never there's only if you sent it. Avo somebody it's asserted to have sent it. But if it's just found in the hands of a non-Jew, a piece of thigh or meat with a sign that it's been trabered, we don't like this at all. Maybe the Jew gave it to him after he had removed the forbidden stuff. In case Vadelo is a trader to behema, and at that point maybe he found out some tarfus in the animal. Chabes. Another, so it has to be with scent. Chabes. Simon shchita ain't a simon cloud. The fact that you see that the animal is shechted, that's not a simon at all. The non-Jew could always forge and switch it for another animal and perform the shchita on his own. We can't tell if a Jew shechted or a goy shechted. If you send an animal or bird which is shechted without a double seal, also it's forbidden. And occasion, unless the shochet sent also a message. Is a simon and there's also in the bird some sign which he make such as cutting the tongue, etc. so there's no concern of forgery. But in any other fashion, it's not effective. So even most people live in the city are Jewish, and most of the slaughters are Jewish. That only works by meat which you find. It can be Simon Aleph. Um, uh, um, Obviously, so we're talking about without Buster Simon. Open Simon Ayin the mutter, or if it's even if it's hidden from the eye, according to Pina, it's mutter which time Simon Simon Gimel. But now we send it to an Jewish Yeshua Shichlif Tobarav Shachlim Atzmo. They switch the bad for the good for the bad, and Shach himself. Ain't seen a clown Mashi's bar Sham. Nothing to do with what's which whatever is clarified there, either in Simon Aleph or Simon Gimel. Lokomosh Mechalkin Khan, Bekan Bekan Ben Rovi Sorot Tabachi. So not like those who want to distinguish and say here also is going to be different depending on whether most of you are Jewish, most of the slaughters are Jewish. The Rov Kutim, Rov Tabach Kutim, or the most of you are not Jewish, and most of the slaughters are not Jewish. No matter what, it's also below Simon Muvak, unless there's a definitive sign, so chosim, or it's a double seal. There's a bracket saying Maramakum, which we don't have to see right now. Okay, well, the ancient Shomar, those who say that Ma'amim Boston and Shabbos, some of you who insulates meat for Shabbos, Shai Ma'acholim, and other types of food, but Tanori of the Kochavim, in ovens which belong to non-Jews. It's good enough to have one seal. Feel that's the Rama Rasha, Shem Mechakim, and Sholech Lamafki, even according to Rama and Rashba, who don't distinguish between meat which is sent and meat for safekeeping. See the Kula Boye, Shtechos, and Sudar Isa, they all require tool seals. If it's a Torah prohibition, here's different, because the owner of the oven is paid for the use of his oven. He therefore is a craftsman. Lomar enough, he doesn't put himself into a iffy situation. We'll talk about he's not going to go to the bother of forging. The seal, in order to switch good for bad. I myself think we try and make a comparison to the craftsman. Leve mutter gam below sometimes that should be mutter even without a seal whatsoever. So if it's not even without a seal whatsoever, there's no comparison. So that what you said, the craftsman doesn't undermine his craft. So that's in his own merchandise. He's not going to ruin it. He's not going to mix in anything which is falsified. But if he's spreading out his oven by and the Jews putting his food in that, it's nothing to do with undermining his craft. It's a true halacha. The primary halacha is like the place in the Rosh who distinguish between sending and giving for safekeeping. And the Rosh will also concede the point where mafkid. Therefore, it's enough to have one seal. You have to recognize the seal. The bracket says here, says they argue on his reasoning. He doesn't say why. Bardu attack which Kosavnu must be the reason, like we said, that there's no actual comparison between Uman and the oven. Says it right. And was sent in through a non-Jew without a seal. That place is a place where many people pass. Mutas missile. He's afraid. Because maybe one of the passers-by will see him. If he posts out, and he'll be caught as a thief. However, should never deliberately send without a seal. Because they feel the passers are not Jewish. You saw he's afraid. You saw he's afraid lest they come to tell the Jew. Even if he sent through not through his slave, or his slave, or male or female, it's permitted as long as it goes in a public place, at least after the fact. Make sure that those say dafka they have those shikos. That's only because it's ever shikla, which traditionally has, I guess, this higher level of mirsas. Also, it's not through his own Evan Shikla, it's also okay. It's not true, he says. The ankle said doesn't matter. That's for the shach. Chafei, linear side near the low down is simukuf chaftes. This is not like simukuf chaftes. Down to the less. I have it yet. I haven't seen it. Class. The Hasam Kulim Yana Shay so Shomer Satsumi Magayan. Magayan. Then we know everybody knows the Jews gonna not touch the wine. Shem Marina Shuetz Lo Po Osachir. And there it's talking about where he's a worker or a hired hand. But he's afraid they're going to tell the owner. If he's carrying something which belongs to a Jew, how the people walking in? So there it's about whatever it's about over there. I know, but it's about where we know the people are going to know that he's working in a Jew's house. So it's obviously working for a Jew. But here the guys working down the street with meat, whatever it is, they don't know he's working for a Jew. Man, you know, how people going walking the street, I don't know. This guy's carrying food for a Jew and there's a concern. They want about it all. For the shliach is also not afraid of them. It's enough for us to be lenient if the most of you there are Jews. Psychologically, he's afraid because he thinks they're looking at him. He gets the impression they're looking at him. They know what Jewish food looks like. But the when it's a thoroughfare for people who are not Jews, lots of people are not Jews. And near the Ein Hakabakach, don't think so be so lenient, says Arukh HaShulchan. For lenient, even under these circumstances, at least let's only be Mako in with his male or female slave. Because they're afraid of their masters. And because of even the least suspicion of getting caught, they won't do anything. But not by a non-Jew who's not his employee. Bracket says here, okay, maybe they all would agree with this. The Rama writes, people send by non-Jews to places which is a public thoroughfare. But in a Jewish neighborhood, they aren't going around so much. I can't show them. Meaning, even though it's been explained. Only after the fact is the mutter in a place where the mass is passed. If it's a Jewish neighborhood, it might make it even deliberately. We should raise the question. In that case, is it if it's only by his own evidence, they call him any non-Jew. Because of Stam, it seems that's any non-Jew because he doesn't specify. This also seems that, but the evidence it's mutter even if it's not Shchunas Yisrael, it's not just neighborhood of law of those Shechaso, and now with the evidence, even his own evidence Shechal. The local Simon Simon could then need at least one catalyst to be lenient. We can say that which is mutter b'diavad gam below Shchunas Yisrael, even if it's not Jewish neighborhood, ain't a day of those Shechaso. It's only if it's his slave. He wrote, it's not clear Allah. Okay, he brings down the Taz here in brackets, but it's not really saying anything which we can understand. He says the right. So look at Basar. Somebody takes meat. So he says in the hand of Amaretz and Damarov. Amaretz is believed. Even though the Amaretz is not known to be a particularly kosher person. We're not concerned he's going to switch. I feel and even the slaves of Jews and their male and female. Only these are Jewish slaves, Jewish servants. And one who's ever said to believe in this matter. Yeshua are those who say, he's suspect not to eat treif mamish. He things which people don't normally eat. He's also suspect to switch. And quote from the Shulchan Aruch, but there we show you that's the Ramberg Ches. Even somebody suspect to eat, they're not suspect to switch. But my finds a precedent in my. The Yeshu some of those that say that Chosh is Chosh Lachlif. That's a Rashba. That's a Rash opinion. The Svili Rock with the Maya Miner came. Admire we make up. Mission Rome Maritz Mekilim Bezeh. Because most of my arts are lenient about this. It means maybe because most of my arts are nicer. This is also true. But if he's suspect to eat something which even the masses don't eat, I see what he's saying. In other words, by demai, which since the masses, no, not like I said. He says by demai, since the masses are makel to eat demai, so um, therefore, that's not enough to make a kosher to switch. But if he eats something which the masses don't all eat, I've got about uh, yeah, again, I mean, Chosh is going back in line. Chosh le'achol to b'davar she'ein ra'am mekinabo. He's suspect eating something which the masses don't eat. Who gam l'achli v'chosh, he also suspect to switch. Afa gad b'chila b'vad, who rak ra'al shemaim, even though by eating himself, he's only wicked to heaven. U'b'chalif, and if he switches, who ra'al shemaim, alabrios, it's a double whammy. He's bad to shemaim and to the people. Nevertheless, also davar shechosh lev iyam shar la'amino. Nevertheless, for that thing which is the suspect, we can't accept it. Only is part of the Siyat Shema B'Sim Kuvites. Evidently, we're going to get to the next sif. The Daishon does that because around the few of them was saying that money that even their slaves are believed Zelbi Yom Kadmeinim. That's in ancient times. Shayu Miknas Kaspam, that they were actually fully owned. It's not just servants; they're really owned. Avlus, and they did meal and feel for the purpose of being slaves. Because coming Maggid Mishnah was Manaselo Shaykh said it's not relevant in our day and age. Kavches, because Rashi was able to say, wrote Sefer Torah Sabais. He writes, reading Torah Sabais in the Mishmer Sabais, it says here, the Kotan Avagav the Shechita ain't a kosher b'loim ragav, even though a child is not suitable to shech unless an adult is guiding him. Nevertheless, to send him to buy wine and meat. The Shalit, one other thing, Shuhu Kotan, when he's a minor, Charif, who's sharp, who maybe understands, he knows to buy stuff, you can buy things through him, and to send through him, to the shochet, to the shochet, to shech, and you give money to pay the shochet, or katsav, the butcher. That's why we're not afraid maybe he stole money for himself. The shochet, he's shechting himself, or maybe he bought a trefa for cheap. Shilat's one man most to leave for himself some of the money. We're not concerned with these things. And so you don't have to watch him. It's not on account of testimony. Assume they're not going to deviate. It's not normal for them to ruin to take something which is usher and reject something which is mutter. Rely on kids to make purchases for us.